How are we doing? It's better. So students, parents, family members, guests, welcome to the reception for celebrating the inaugural, unique, very first cohort of students in the Honors Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. I'm Dave Barb, the Faculty Director. The agenda this afternoon includes brief remarks by campus leaders who had major roles in developing and creating this program, followed by a ribbon-cutting ceremony to officially launch the program, and networking and refreshments after that. This program is the result of the coordination and collaboration of a number of organizations: the Provost's Office, the Office of Undergraduate Studies, the Honors College, the Department of Resident Life, Clark School of Engineering, and the organization that I represent, MTech, which is a unit of the Clark School of Engineering. Representatives of all those organizations are present, and I hope that you will network with them after the ceremony and the ribbon cutting. At the Honors Convocation, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Nirman Favarden, challenged the students to strive to be the best that you could be in whatever you do. I expect that you, the students, will have the opportunity, and I hope you do, to interact with Nirman many times before you graduate. And be prepared that he will always challenge you to be the best that you can be. There's an inspirational poem titled, "Be the Best of Whatever You Are," by Douglas Mallock. If Nirman were a poet, which may be a little difficult to imagine, but if Nirman were a poet, he would have written something similar. However, with Nirman, it isn't just about words. His career has had many forms in his 25-plus years at the university: faculty member, department chairman, dean, and now provost and senior vice president. In all these positions, he's always been the absolute best of whatever it is he is at the time. Having been inspired by him for many years, it is with gratitude that I call on Nirman for opening remarks.
I did not deserve this. Thank you so much. David, thanks a million for undeservedly kind remarks. I just don't deserve this. I appreciate it very much. For those of you who do not know me or Dr. Barb, we've known each other for now almost 26 years. And from time to time, very early in the morning, if you want to find both of us at the same time in the same location, I invite the students to come to the gym, to the racquetball courts, and the two of us can be found there. I'm grateful to you for the wonderful words. I want to take advantage of this opportunity to welcome everybody to this event. This part of the rotunda is empty, and that part seems to be jam-packed. Could I invite you to perhaps move a little bit to your left so that I can see all of these young, enthusiastic, hopeful faces? Welcome to the students, and equally importantly, welcome to the parents. I understand we have 74 students who are experiencing a new life in our university, and their parents who are entrusting in the university the future of these young men and women whom they have worked so hard to bring to this stage. I can assure you, parents, we will do everything humanly possible to give your children a quality education and overall an academic experience that is second to none. I do want to take advantage of this opportunity to thank a lot of people who have worked so hard to make this program possible. I'm not going to mention them by name, but many people have worked very hard in order to make this program a reality, and I just want to express my deep gratitude for all the hard work that has gone into planning this program, and much more hard work that will go into the actual implementation of this program in the years to come. I will say a few words in a minute about a whole host of programs that the University of Maryland has, to create and support a very strong culture and an ecosystem to support innovation and entrepreneurship. But because I care personally about entrepreneurship and innovation, I'd like to share with you my own perspective on this very important program. Of course, many of you have heard the term entrepreneur in probably a variety of different contexts, but it may be appropriate to say that an entrepreneur, at least from my parochial point of view, is an individual who undertakes innovation and then combines the innovation with his or her business and finance acumen to transform the innovation into economic goods. That's in the simplest possible form a description of what we normally refer to as an entrepreneur. This activity, this entrepreneurial activity, may result in new organizations or may be part of a revitalizing, mature organization in response to a perceived opportunity. Of course, the most obvious form of entrepreneurship is that of starting a new company, which we typically refer to as a startup. It has become increasingly apparent over the years that entrepreneurship indeed contributes to economic development. Transforming ideas into economic opportunities, in fact, is the crux of entrepreneurship. And history shows that economic progress has been significantly advanced by pragmatic people, like many of the young people in this room, who are entrepreneurial and innovative, able to exploit opportunities, and willing to take risk. It's very important for me to pause here to remind you that a significant contributor to the great success of this country in providing the quality of life that it has provided all of us, people in this room, in providing us the standard of living that we all enjoy, is the fact that the culture of entrepreneurship has been very much a part of the psyche of Americans from the very beginning. This country was founded by a group of people who were adventurous, a group of people who were not satisfied with status quo, a group of people who were was exploring new opportunities, a group of people who was not shy about exploring new frontiers, a group of people who constantly looked for problems so that they can devise solutions to these problems. And the establishment of this program is yet another step this university has taken to make this culture more a part of the psyche of the students who come to this university and graduate from this university. The hope is that you can learn from this program something that you can find useful at some later stage in your life, so that it could give you the opportunity to change the world in a non-incremental way. Entrepreneurs produce solutions that fly in the face of established knowledge. Keep this in the back of your mind. Do not shy away from devising solutions that fly in the face of established knowledge. Entrepreneurs always challenge status quo. They are risk takers who pursue opportunities that others may fail to recognize or may even view as problems or threats. Whatever the definition of entrepreneurship, it is closely associated with change, with creativity, with knowledge, with innovation, and with flexibility factors that are increasingly important sources of competitiveness in an increasingly globalized world economy. In some sense, one could argue that fostering entrepreneurship means promoting the competitiveness of businesses. As you may know, of course, in the US and in many developing countries, private sector development has been a powerful engine for economic growth and wealth creation, for job creation, and for improving the quality, number, and variety of employment opportunities for everybody, but in particular for the poor. So as you think about innovation and entrepreneurship, I want you to think about the good that innovation and entrepreneurship can do, not only for you, not only for your immediate community, not only for the United States of America, but also for the poor people in Central Africa. Economically, entrepreneurship invigorates markets. The formation of new business leads to job creation and has a multiplying effect on the economy. But socially, entrepreneurship empowers citizens, generates innovation, and changes mindsets. These changes have the potential to integrate developing countries into the global economy. So as you embark on this new journey of participating in this particular program, I would like you to think about these two very, very important aspects of innovation and entrepreneurship. I do want to emphasize the fact, as I said before, that a very significant part of entrepreneurship is about taking risk. People who are risk averse never become entrepreneurs. So, as 74 students who have chosen to enter this program focusing on entrepreneurship, always keep in the back of your mind the importance of your willingness to take risk. And by the way, when you take risk, by definition, you run the risk of becoming a failure. Being a failure is perfectly fine. In fact, in order for you to become ultimately successful, you have to fail a number of times. And I'd like to give you a very real example with which some of you may relate. Does anybody know what WD40 is in the audience? How many people know what WD40 is? Very good. So I need one volunteer to tell me what WD40 is used for. Of all the people who raised their hands. Loosening what? Very good. WD-40 can be thought of as some form of a lubricant. Do you know the history of WD-40? In fact, does anybody know why WD-40 is called WD-40? It's a funny name for a lubricant, right? Very good. A scientist was working, a chemist, or perhaps a chemical engineer, I'm not sure, was working on developing a new formula for some material that would prevent corrosion. That was the ultimate goal. And in order to arrive at this formula, he had 39 failures. So the first version, the first formula was called water displacement version 1. Water displacement version 2. WD version 3. WD version 4. And these didn't work. Version 39 didn't work either. But version 40 did. Keep this in mind. This individual failed 39 times before he succeeded in the 40th time. But when he succeeded, he essentially developed a new industry and he changed the world. I thought in order to make this set of comments a little more interesting, and I'm not going to take much more time, I promise, I thought maybe I would engage the audience in working with me to identify some of the most successful, some of the most well-known, some of the most influential entrepreneurs of all times. And I will try to help you. In the area of automotive industry, can anybody? Very good. Very good. Henry Ford. So Henry Ford was one individual who was unhappy with making automobiles the way they were making them, kind of one at a time. So he came up with a completely new way of building a car, which revolutionized the entire industry. And I do have a little quote from Henry Ford that I thought you may find helpful as you embark on this journey. He said, "Stay true to your vision and follow your instincts, even if your backers advise otherwise." Keep this in mind. If you have a vision you're convinced of, stick with it. Let's see, in the area of finance, has anybody heard the term J.P. Morgan? You all know that J.P. Morgan was an individual who was born in 1837, died in 1913, and he created a new industry. J.P. Morgan said, a man always has two reasons for what he does, a good one and a real one. Let me ask you another question. In the area of technology, give me a few names of who? Steve Jobs? Very good. Steve Jobs, you all know what Steve Jobs did with respect to Apple. Founded Apple, made it successful. Other people took it down the tube. And then they asked him to come back. And of course, Apple, I think, is now the second largest in terms of market cap company in the United States. Only second to ExxonMobil. Steve Jobs said half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Remember WD40. Let's see. What other big names do we have here? Does anybody know who Ray Kroc was? Who was Ray Kroc? McDonald's. McDonald's hamburger. Unfortunately, Ray Kroc didn't live long enough to see the 50 billionth hamburger sold. I think he died just a few days before that. But he said the quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. I invite you to learn about some of the greatest entrepreneurs of all times. And you will recognize that these people had a certain set of characteristics and qualifications and personality traits that are common between all of these people. You can learn from them, and hopefully by trying to learn from these people and mimicking some of their attributes, who knows, maybe you will give yourself the opportunity to change the world the way they did. I am very proud of the fact that our university is starting this new program. I did want to say that the university is one of the most committed universities in the country to establishing and supporting and nurturing programs in the broad area of entrepreneurship. We have programs pre-college, we have programs for undergraduate students, we have programs for, of course, freshmen and sophomores like the people in this room, we have programs for juniors and seniors separately, we have programs for graduate students, we have programs out of the School of Engineering, we have programs out of the School of Business, we have programs for faculty members, we have programs for starting companies, we have an entire building. Actually, we've got 2 buildings that are dedicated to startup companies that start on campus, and the university provides all kinds of support. I invite you to learn about these programs and to take advantage of these programs so that together, not only you can learn something useful, but maybe give yourself the opportunity to change the world for the better. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this program. Thank you.
So you may or may not know that the director of the Honors College, Bill Dorland, is an outstanding physicist, as evidenced by, for example, by being awarded the prestigious E.O. Lawrence Award last year for exceptional contributions in plasma research. Everyone marvels at how Bill can be such an extraordinarily successful physicist and also direct the Honors College with such distinction. Bill.
Thank you. Thank you for that kind introduction. I just want to say a few words. The idea for this program started probably, well, actually it's hard to say exactly when it started because there's a very successful progenitor of this program called Hinman CEO. Parents, if you haven't heard about it, it's one of the most successful programs on campus. It's open to juniors and seniors, and they had so many first and second year students wanting to get in that when Nariman Farvardin, the provost that just spoke, called for new opportunities for first and second year students, the Hinman CEO team stood up and said, well, we've got one that we think will attract lots of exciting and wonderful students. And it did. We started with the idea of generalizing the Hinman CEO program. We got the support of the Dean of Engineering and the Provost, and with their support, hired someone who you're really going to be very, very happy with, I can tell you. Jay Smith is going to be your director. He is teaching me a lot about how to run these programs and how to make them successful, and he's only been here, what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and I've been here 12 years, so lots to learn. He's got lots of great ideas, which is what you would expect from a program on innovation and entrepreneurship. So we had the idea. We put the idea out on the internet to see if we could find any students. There were 27,000 students applied to the University of Maryland last year, and by the time we got to the end of the honors process, 1,000 students, 960 odd, are actually here on campus to be honors students. So that's a fairly sharp cut down from the 27,000 originally. And of those 900 and a few, 74 chose entrepreneurship and innovation as their first choice for a living learning program. And it's going to be great. This is really exciting. What you're going to do is going to set the standard for the rest of the living learning programs. I can feel it. And we look, the university looks to honors and the Honors College for the development of innovative ideas in the classroom for students, how to get people excited about education, how to get faculty who have sometimes fallen asleep to get back engaged and find something exciting to do with the best students. And this is the program that we think is going to lead the way in that area. So we're very happy about it. We're glad you're here. And someday you will be alumni. We've just started working on alumni programs so that we'll have some networks for you to join when you leave. Of course, the university has many thousands of alumni, but for the first time, actually just 3 weeks ago, we for the first time identified the 14,000 alums of honors from the University of Maryland. The program's 44 years old, and it has alums all over the country and the world in lots of wonderful positions. They'll welcome you when you're done, and we look forward to working with you for many years. So, welcome.
But before we move on, I would like to acknowledge a person that just came in the room from teaching his class, Dr. James Green. James, can you... James actually is the person that's most responsible for this program being developed to the point it is. So James needs a round of applause. So as chairman of the Aerospace Department, Darrell Pines led the department in graduate program rankings to 8th among U.S. universities and 5th among public schools. He became Dean of Engineering in January of 2009, and as Dean, his strong leadership continues to produce outstanding results, as evidenced by the engineering school's undergraduate program recently being ranked, moving up into the top 20 of engineering schools and the top 10 of public institutions. Please welcome Darrell Pines.
Thank you, Dave. So 74 out of 27,000. You are the best. You are the best and brightest. You are our recent inductees into the Honors College. We're expecting big things from you. Don't be too fearful. I'm talking a big talk. So innovation and entrepreneurship is what you want to do. I want you to just take some time with me and take a look upstairs. Take a look at these banners. These are entrepreneurs themselves. Now, they're in the College of Engineering. One of them you can't see is behind A. James Clark. His name is Brian Hinman. And he was the originator of the program, the Hinman program, in which Dr. James Green is in charge of and also oversees this program. If you don't, how many people know what Mr. Hinman did, Dr. Hinman did? Yeah, you know Mr. Ford, you knew Steve Jobs, but you didn't know Brian Hinman. Brian Hinman is like you, University of Maryland graduate out of the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department, and he invented a number of technologies, something that you probably, or at least your parents probably use every day, is the teleconferencing services on their conference room sort of tables. Right? That teleconferencing device, which is called a Polycom system, when you go into a conference room, when you go back to work and you go into your conference room, look at the device that's on your conference room table. It's probably called Polycom. It's the most prolific teleconferencing system in the world, invented by Dr. Brian Hinman, who started the Hinman program. This program is to engage students like yourselves at the freshman and sophomore level. How many people have heard of a barcode reader? You must all have heard of it. Did you know that that came from a University of Maryland graduate as well? It was invented by George Lauer. That's another technology that comes from your school, hopefully you will also think about developing. What about other technologies? What will you guys do? Our current president, President Moat, likes to say that entrepreneurship and innovation requires 4 things. 1, great people like yourselves, great leadership like Mr. J. Smith and Dr. James Green. Those are your leaders for innovation and entrepreneurship. Dr. Dave Barb and Dr. Herb Rabin, who leads the overall program at MTech. It involves a second thing, which is an idea or a concept. An idea or a concept, a great idea, hopefully. A great idea that would transform the rest of the world. So that's the second thing he likes to say. The third thing, it requires a place, somewhere to convene and carry out this idea with the great people and with the great concept. The fourth thing, a lot of luck. You're going to need a lot of luck to be successful in innovation entrepreneurship. As Provost Farvardin has stated, you will fail a number of times with your own ideas. Don't ever give up. Don't give up. If you give up, you're never going to achieve your goals. Being an entrepreneur is tough business. It requires a lot of focus, a lot of commitment. But University of Maryland graduates have always shown the way. In our Hinman program, we already have 2 CEOs and 2 firms, Learn Corporation and Squarespace, which have already reached the top 500 list of Inc. magazine. They were just like you, students who came to College Park with a great idea and some friends that helped them and a team and a concept and a lot of luck. And they took it to the next level. That can be you. You are the first inaugural group of our Honors College EIP program. We're expecting great things from you. Great things. Enjoy the time here at College Park. You're going to have fun. Parents, don't worry about your son or daughter. They will do well. They're 74 out of 27,000. That's the elite group. They're going to do well. Don't worry. We'll take great care of them, and they will have a great time. Innovation entrepreneurship is going to be a great subject for them. Welcome and congratulations.
Okay, now for Jay Smith. Jay's 25-year career has taken him on several interconnected paths on both sides of the globe. As a Harvard MBA, and I suppose every organization needs a Harvard MBA, entrepreneur, investment banker, management consultant, university faculty member. Those paths converged when we attracted Jay all the way from Japan to join the MTech's program, the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. He's bringing leadership, innovation, and tremendous excitement to the program. Please welcome Jay Smith.
I need to take a little time to just thank all of our speakers, starting with Provost Farvardin, without whose leadership the expansion of the living learning programs would not have happened, and I would not be here talking to you. I'd like to thank our partners in the Honors College and in Residence Life. I think Deb Grandner, who is representing Residence Life, is in the back there. So thank you again. We had a pretty smooth move in. Everybody's here. We haven't lost anybody yet. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Barb and Dean Pines. I think you may have heard that Dean Pines is an aerospace engineer. Dr. Barb is a former naval research engineer. And I think it's this aircraft carrier, rocket launcher of MTech and the Clark School that has allowed us to take off with such momentum. So thank you both for all of your support. I'd like to, of course, thank all the parents and the family members who have been able to join us. And most of all, I'd like to thank all of our students who joined and entrusted us with your education and have come here to share your talents and learn with us at the University of Maryland. So first year EIPers, are you in the house? Can I hear you? All right, great. They are an amazing group of 74 smart, talented, engaged men and women. They have an average SAT score of about 1430. 25% of them are already sophomore status. And 20% of them are what we call Banneker Key Merit Scholars, which is given to roughly about 2.5% of the total university population. So we have some very impressive students here. They are interdisciplinary, which is a very vital skill for developing breakthrough innovation. Things that come, interaction between different fields, different approaches, different perspectives. We have about 40% in business majors, about 30% of engineering majors, and 30% arts and sciences, everything from agriculture to psychology. They have diverse interests in the arts, in music, in athletics, in computer programming, and in design. And their common interest, however, as we've talked about, you've heard before, is improving themselves in their world through the power of innovation and entrepreneurship. And Provost Vervarden so eloquently spoke on that. Our program helps to do this by developing their entrepreneurial mindsets in leadership, in ethics, in creative and critical thinking, their functional skill sets in business and marketing, in management and communications, and their tangible assets in intellectual property, business assets, starting their own companies, and in the human networks that are so vital to creating your businesses. So guys, this is your first chance to network. Do it well. There'll be a test afterwards. So make sure you get to meet somebody who's a little older than you. That's one of the key things. EIP is a living learning program that combines challenging, intense coursework with experiential learning in an incubator-like living environment and mentoring and services to help foster cross-disciplinary pollination and development of new ideas. And I kind of agree with William Butler Yeats, who said that education is not filling a bucket, it's lighting a fire. And so EIP is meant to help catalyze that fire and help you become successful entrepreneurs and innovators in whatever your lives bring. Whether it's your own company, an organization that you join, and outside the organization in your community. By the way, if any parent here is in an organization that could benefit from having some talented students work as interns, I think I have a group for you, so please come see me after. I'm honored and humbled to have been selected as the inaugural director of this program. As Dr. Barb pointed out, I joined the university recently, I think about 6 weeks ago, where I've come from Japan. In the past 20 years since graduating a state university and then going on to Harvard, I've worked in a number of fields related to entrepreneurship and innovation, helping technology companies as a consultant, starting my own internet business in Tokyo, and helping raise corporate finance for technology companies out in San Francisco. For the past 5 years, I served as an associate professor teaching entrepreneurship and innovation at a Japanese national university, where I've helped students like all of these students out here to win national business plan competitions, start companies, join companies like Hitachi and Google, and join graduate programs at top universities in Japan. My program was endowed by an entrepreneur you may not know, unless you have an experience in chip packaging. This is a man by the name of Kazuo Inamori, who graduated from this national university, basically the equivalent of a state university in southern Japan in the 1950s. He joined a small company afterwards in Kyoto. That company went bankrupt just after he joined. And at the age of 27, in a country not known for being the easiest place to start a business, he took his team from the company and started what became the globally dominant ceramics chip packaging company known as Kyocera. That was not enough. He then went on to start a telecommunications firm when the industry got deregulated in Japan, now known as KDDI. And the thing that we also want to get across is that it's not just for you, it's not just for your business, it's for society. He went on to create the Kyoto Prizes and is now serving as the turnaround chairman of Japan Airlines. So you never know what's going to happen when you start. Now, Dr. Inamori's books are bestsellers and widely published in Japan and now in China. He has developed a simple formula for success, which he calculates in very simple math. Everybody here should be able to do it. Is ability times effort times attitude. Judging by Dr. Inamori's formula and everything I've seen so far about these students, you guys are clearly on your way. My work here at the university is to help you be as successful as you can along whatever your chosen path may be, even if it's not chosen yet in an undeclared major. So I will promise you that I will give you all the best of my ability and my attitude and my effort to make you and help you be the best you can be. Thank you very much.
Okay, will the speakers and Dr. Green please join me at the front here for the ribbon cutting. And after the ribbon cutting, that will actually be the final formal portion of our program. I hope that you'll all stay around as long as possible to network. Thank you.
Cut it off. Cut it off. How much ribbon is that?